And here we go. We are back. Friday night lines. Week 12 college football. Week 11 for the NFL. It's 9:30 here Central Time in the great state of Wisconsin. I'm tired tonight. I'm tired. I don't know what's wrong with me. Got Houston on the top TV. I've got, I think they're -10. I took the over in that game as well, and I've got Air Force -1.5 in the TV below because it doesn't make any sense. Hold on, I gotta put the tweet out there. You know how it goes. Gotta get the audience in here. Hashtag gambling Twitter. Let's go. Let's buck up. I'm having a drink. This is my first drink tonight. I went to state football here in Wisconsin with my son. Sat down and watched a movie. I think that got me tired. It's time to re-energize. This is my upper. I've upped a couple uppers. This is my drink. Gonna have a couple more. Go to bed. And I'm going to the Badger Nebraska game. Cornhusker game tomorrow. Gonna be up in the box seats, killing it up there, enjoying it, having some drinks. The only place you can drink. Don't you think that in the state of Wisconsin, where we drink more beer than anybody, and they're finally allowing people to drink inside college football stadiums, that the first school to jump on it would have been the University of Wisconsin, and you still can't drink at the games? Is it just because they assume that people are just gonna bring alcohol in one way or the other, so they're like, fuck it? But it's you could profit off that. It's Wisconsin. You can make so much money. It would probably be more of a disaster in the stands, but whatever. It's for the brand. For the brand. The brand of Wisconsin. Keep drinking. I'm really sad. We've got 2 weeks left of regular season college football. And then we got the conference championships games. And then we go into bowl season. And that makes me sad. I'm sad. I am sad out loud. And we're getting down to it. And what's crazy about the NFL is we still have the Packers don't have a bye for 2 more weeks. Week 13, they don't have a bye. Is their bye? The buys are just stretched way out. This extra week it's weird. I wish this was the last week of buys, but it is what it is. The NFL needs money. Last week, I actually had a good week because I bet all my games that I give you. I will never be the guy that doesn't bet the games I give you, but I go above and beyond because I get a little crazy. The Sunday games last week, after the noon games, 12 o'clock games Central, 1 o'clock Eastern, I did terrible, so I went on tilt. I proceeded to bet all 4 fucking games in the 3 o'clock window and then parlay all 4 of those games on top, and I just haven't hit every single one of those. So it ended up being a great weekend for me after my gambling partner had to kind of talk me off of a ledge after 12 o'clock because I was this close to finding the tallest building in Madison, and it was bad. It was really bad. It was rough. I was in a bad place, but I'm back. Gamble responsibly. But that's gambling takes away. Gamblers giveth, and gambling taketh away. And it took away from me that day, and it brought me right back. And that's why we fucking love it. That's why we're here. This is why we live it. That's why we love it. This is fucking gambling. This is why we do it. It's the best thing on earth. It needs to be legalized in Wisconsin. I can't believe they're not even fucking touching it. It's ridiculous. It's just unbelievable that they haven't even looked at it. Let's get into my picks. 3-3 last week for college football, 24-26 overall. I've got 6 picks for you. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in college football this week. And then 3-4 last week in the NFL. I've got 6 more picks for you. So I've got total of 12 picks, 6 NFL, 6 college football. Let's get it. Let's start with tomorrow because that's probably what you're looking to hear about because it's Friday night and Saturday is closer than Sunday. And who doesn't love betting on college football? Let's start with game number 1. I like Ohio State -19 versus Michigan State. We are coming down to the end of the fucking year. We're coming down to the end of the year. We got 2 games left. The playoff picture is all muddled. Somehow Cincinnati is still sitting on the edge because, they're going to find a way. The college football playoff committee is going to find a way to not let Cincinnati in. But Ohio State versus Michigan State at home, 19. Ohio State just throttled Purdue. And quite honestly, I think Purdue is better than Michigan State. I thought Michigan State's frauds. They've won a bunch of games by 3 points or less. Nebraska should have beat them about 4 or 5 weeks ago pretty easily. They outgained them, outplayed them, everything. And their defense is bad. And Ohio State's offense is rolling. C.J. Stroud, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, the other guy with 3 names. And they just can't cover. They can't cover the pass. So I don't know how they're going to stop this Ohio State offense. I think they have the offensive game plan, Michigan State, or just the style of play that could give Ohio State troubles because they have Kenneth Walker. But like the Browns in the NFL, if they get down, they have no choice but to try to throw the ball, and they just can't. And like I said, I mean, Michigan should have beat them as well. And McNamara was going crazy on them. So I can't imagine what CJ Stroud in this passing game is going to do to Ohio State. This should be a blowout, a fucking blowout. This is one of my favorite games of the weekend. This should be a 40-point game. They should be up 28-0 at the end of the half. Let's go 30-7 at the end of the half. Kenneth Walker touchdown for Michigan State. And then a breeze the rest of the way. It's all about the college football playoffs. So they're not going to let up. Nobody's going to let up at the end of the games this week. You're going to see a trend in my picks this week because of that. Should be a 40-point victory, as I called this last week with, who was it? Who played Thursday night? Louisville. I said 40-point victory. They won by 40. Same thing here. Game number 2. I still don't get it. Wake Forest, my favorite team. I call them Wake and Forest. It's a really bad dad joke. Plus 4.5 at Clemson. Wake Forest is good. Sam Hartman, it's time for him to show out. This team can score. I mean, they can get after it. They can move the ball up and down the field. And I don't believe in Clemson. Clemson had a great game against UConn. I have a high school. I just went to a state football game. Sunbury versus I don't know. I can't remember the other team, but their quarterbacks are committed to Wisconsin. Those teams would be competitive against UConn. So I imagine Clemson should be able to put up a shit ton of points on UConn. That doesn't give me any more confidence. Wake Forest should win this game. Sprinkle the money line. Take the plus 4.5. That's a lock. I love that bet. Cincinnati minus 10 versus SMU. Cincinnati has not looked good. They haven't, but they've been winning, and it's been like bad enough to keep them kind of out of the playoff, like where the committee's leaving them on the 5th line, so they have an excuse to keep bumping them back at some point. If like a Notre Dame or somebody like that sneaks up into there, or they just need to find a way to have a good excuse to keep them out of it. So they got to keep them on that number 5 line. Because I think somebody, even if like there's another 2-loss team ahead of them, like a Notre Dame or somebody like that will sneak ahead of them or jump over them for some stupid reason. Okay. But they've got SMU here and they need to show out. And maybe they can't. Maybe they don't have the ability. But I think they do. The defense is really good. Desmond Ridder is very experienced. And this is the time. I like Tanner Mordecai. It makes me nervous. He's a very talented quarterback, and SMU can put up points. But it's time for Cincinnati if they're going to make a statement, it's going to be this week. They've let teams back into games like they did last week. It's time to put SMU out of the misery with these 2 weeks coming up. They're going to probably have to face Houston as they dominate Memphis in this game. As they're about to run it, they just ran in for a touchdown, going up 21-3 versus Memphis. So that should be an interesting title game, Cincinnati versus Houston. If those 2 wins don't put them in, if they win both those games with a 2-loss team ahead of them, there should be a riot. It should be ridiculous. Game number 4, I mentioned this game, Nebraska plus 10 at Wisconsin. Nebraska can win this fucking football game. Not only can they cover, Wisconsin being 10-point favorites is just utterly ridiculous because Nebraska has been competitive every game. They might be the best bad record team in college football outside of, I don't know, Mississippi State, something like that. With Will Rogers, I mean, obviously the only thing they have to avoid is the Adrian Martinez big turnover in the bad spot. But if they can get the ball outside quick as their game and get the ball downfield to Toure and Austin Allen and Manningham and guys like that, and this defense is good. This is top 25 defense. Wisconsin has struggled to run down their throws like they have against really bad teams recently, like Northwestern and things like that. It will not be the same results as the bad teams they've played. It will be a tight game. It will come down to the 4th quarter. It's probably going to be 7-6 going into the 4th quarter, 7-7. It's going to be really low. I love the under in this game as well. It's going to be a defensive battle. I just think Nebraska just has a little more talent offensively than what Wisconsin has, as long as they avoid that big mistake. But Graham Mertz can turn it over, and that team's inept as well. So I imagine it's going to be a turnover fest. Whoever makes the best or gets a pick 6 or makes the biggest play on defense. Hopefully Nebraska doesn't make, but it's going to be tight. So 10 easy, Sprinkle that money line. Nebraska wins this game. I'm calling my shot right now. Nebraska beats Wisconsin. I will be up in the box seats tomorrow, 2:30, watching it, enjoying it. It'll be a good time. Game number 5, Alabama minus 20.5 versus Arkansas. Arkansas is just not a good football team. And like I said, Alabama needs to just keep beating the shit out of people. I don't see any way that Arkansas hangs in this game. And like I said, teams right now that are in the playoff picture, they're not going to let up. So they're just going to keep putting they're going to keep the pedal down, keep dominating. It should be an easy win and an easy cover here for Alabama. And my riskiest bet, my least confident bet of the week or of the weekend of Saturday is Oregon +3 at Utah. I just feel like publicly everybody's on Utah. Oregon's in that college football playoff as of now. And if I'm getting 3 points in this game, one way or the other, I'm probably going to take the dog. 3.5, maybe even if you get 3.5, definitely get bet on Oregon. But I don't think anybody wins this game more by 3. I just think with their running game, that defense, they can control it a little bit more. I got to go Oregon. I just can't. 3 is too many points. I'm playing the line at this point. Whoever was the 3-point dog, I'd be playing. I'm taking Oregon. And just based off them being doubted, I expect them to win this game. But it's going to be within 3. It's going to be a tight game. I like Oregon here. Those are my picks for the college football Saturday slate. Go put those bets in right now. Maybe wait and see if you can get that game at 3.5 for Oregon. On to the NFL slate. Moving on to that. Haven't been great. I was really good in the afternoon. Should have probably gave up those picks, but I was tilting and I just wanted to get them in as fast as possible. I was frustrated. And I just put them in, and I didn't give the people winners. And I'm sorry for that. I apologize, but God damn it, let's have a good fucking week for once. I'm going to give you an over/under. It'll be my last play. Take the under because I'm taking the over. I might be 0-15 on total picks this year. And at this point, it's just a running joke. So if I give you the over, take the under. If I give you the under, take the over. Just fade me every time because I don't think you can lose. Game number 1, taking Bears +5.5 versus the Ravens. This feels like a game where I know Khalil Mack just got announced. He's out for the season, blah, blah, blah. Lamar Jackson, there's so many questions. It's a couple different ways to beat him. If you stay disciplined by blitzing everybody against him and making him to make the right decisions, and if you don't get out of your lanes, if you do get out of your lanes, you're screwed. He's going to take off. Or if you have the ability to play that umbrella defense, be able to stop the run with 4 guys, play it that way as well as the Titans have. The Bears have that type of defense that they can do those type of things. I just don't trust the Ravens. I don't trust Lamar. I historically have not trusted him. 5.5 seems like a rat line to me. I guess since it's at the Bears, maybe that's why. It just seems radish. It seems like the public's going to be smashing the Ravens this one, and I love to be on the opposite side of what I believe the public will be doing. I'm going the Bears +5.5 in this game. They've been getting better. Justin Fields has looked good. I hate to say it. I hate to say that. Justin Fields he might be a legit quarterback. It's unfortunate. He might be legit. I don't know what else to say. I hope we keep Aaron Rodgers for quite a while in Green Bay, but he looks good. And it sucks that Allen Robinson's out, but Darnell Mooney is his favorite target. David Montgomery's back and healthy, and he's fucking ridiculous. And you have that 1-2 punch now with Herbert in the backfield. So game number 2, Bills -7 versus the Colts. To me, the Colts are just a bad football team, and the Bills had an anomaly game against the Jaguars where they lost. Came back, just dominated last week. I do still think the Bills are the best team in the AFC. I do recognize, and I don't know how you don't, your people are going to think that this is just too big of a spread versus the Colts because they remember the Bills struggling against the Jaguars 2 weeks ago. It's not. There's a reason it's 7. The Colts are a bad football team. Carson Wentz is weird, does stupid things, tries to get out of too many sacks, thinks he's Lamar Jackson at times, throws the ball left-handed twice like an idiot. Jonathan Taylor is the only good thing they have going there. But again, this is a team, if they get behind, they just don't have a chance. Bills are much better than this team. They match up really good because they have a really good defense, and they should be able to move the ball up and down the field here. I expect this to be a blowout. I think this is going to be the surprising blowout of the day. Bills win by, 18, 17, something like that. And it doesn't even feel that particularly close. Game number 3, every single week I give this to you. Packers -2. I'm now seeing at -1. So if you can get at -1, the Packers -1 at the Vikings, they're 9-1. They're 9-1 against the spread this year. The last 2 seasons, they've been to the top 5 team. I think they're probably the top team against the spread this year. Top 5 team against the spread last year. They continue to cover. Rodgers torches the Viking secondary when they play in Minnesota every year. He loves playing in Atlanta. He loves playing in Minnesota. He loves playing in Dallas. He loves playing in anywhere you have a fucking dome and turf. He loves playing in those places. He practiced today. He's got MVS healthy. He's got Devontae Adams healthy. Their defense is playing lights out. What more can I just? Well, this is an automatic bet every week. If you bet Georgia and Green Bay every single week, I say this every year. I feel like it's usually Alabama. You're dominating, but $100, you're probably up. $8,000. No, it's not 8,000. You're up like a couple $1,000 at this point. If you bet $100 on them every week. What game was that? 3. Game number 4. You're gonna hate it. I hate it. But I love me a home dog. Jags +6 versus the Niners. Niners coming off that huge fucking win. I hate this, man. I hate that I'm even talking about the Jags covering the spread. It's gross. It feels disgusting. It doesn't feel right. I'm going to need to take a drink just to get past this. It's like a girl going home with the questionable guy at the end of the night. Like, it's like, maybe I just need to have another sip. Maybe I need to have a drink and he'll look a little better. But he doesn't. And maybe I should back off this. Maybe if I have another drink, maybe I need another drink. The Jags will look a little bit better. But even as I keep drinking my old fashioned, the Jags, I still hate it, but I have to do it because I'm not comfortable unless I'm uncomfortable. My favorite quote ever. Everybody's going to be in the Niners after the butt whooping of the Rams. But Kyle Shanahan has never lost to Sean McVay. And it's just one of those situations where the matchup, what can you do? It is what it is. It's kind of the NFL when their team kind of mentally owns the team, no matter how good or bad they are. It just continues to happen. The Niners are still a bad football team. Do not buy into that. The Jags have been hanging tough and hanging tight. They should, again, we're just talking about the Colts. They should beat the Colts if it wasn't for a punt block this last week. They beat the Bills 2 weeks ago. They're playing tough. I think they can stay in this game. I hope. I hate it. But let's take the Jags +6 versus the Niners. Game number 5 comes down to me believing in Joe Burrow. I like the Bengals minus the 1 point versus the Raiders. Off the bye. Seems like every time I bet a team off the bye, they've sucked. So I'm not super excited, but I have to believe that with a young team, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, just got a little bit too big for their britches. They're a little cocky, they were winning a lot of games. The last couple of games, they went out there, they thought they could win. I would do the same thing because that's the kind of attitude I bring. I'm like, oh, this shit's easy. But it's the NFL. You let your guard down quick. You let your guard down for a second. Somebody's going to step on your throat. That happened. They have time to regroup. They're going to come out. They realize that anybody can beat them at any time. They will rebound these last 7 games, I believe, of the season. 6, 7 games, whatever, of this NFL season, starting by beating the Raiders, who have a big leadership problem, who always have an internal team problem, whose weapons are, who knows, poor Derek Carr. I am trusting in Joe Burrow, and I'm trusting in Jamar Chase. But really, I'm just trusting in Joe Burrow. They'll bounce back. That defense will start playing better. And I think they've got just pushed back to reality. Last but not least, sorry about that. Last but not least, this is the over-under play. Just take the opposite of what I give you. I like the over in the Cowboys and Chiefs because, fuck you. If you're not betting the over in the Cowboys, here's the thing. I'm going to contradict myself. If you don't like the Cowboys Chiefs over, then fuck you. You don't deserve to bet that Sunday Night Football game, and you should be betting it, and we should all be betting it because who doesn't fucking like to have fun? In a game like that, you just want to see touchdown after touchdown. You don't even want the defense to show up on the field. Probably bet the under because I'm that excited, but at least if you are a gambler, you like to have fun just every now and then, and you want to see fireworks on primetime football. If you're not betting the over in this game, then I don't even want to associate with you. You're not worthy of being associated with. You're not worthy of being associated with, so just stop gambling. Have some fun. Bet this over with me. lose it with me. If we lose together, at least we had fun losing it together because the over is never dead. That's the other thing about the over. The over. It's never dead. You can bet the under and it can be gone within minutes. If a team scores 30 in the first half, it's dead. It's dead. But when you bet the over, there's still always life. You got overtime. You've got ties. Maybe there's a couple of a back-to-back touchdowns or a pick six that starts as there's always a fucking chance to hit the over. You always have hope. You don't always have hope with the under. It can be dead after a quarter and a half. Bet the fucking over or stop gambling. You just don't like fun. That's all I have to say. This is week 12 college, week 11. We're coming down the end. As I said, I'm starting to get more and more knowledge of, not knowledge. I mean, I watched a lot of college basketball, more of an idea how these teams are going to play together in college basketball. So I will start adding college basketball lines. And when the NFL and college football season ends, I will still continue to do a Friday night lines. Maybe I'll do a couple more. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw in a Tuesday, a Wednesday. Who knows? College basketball, Friday night lines. You can't call it Friday night if I don't do a Friday night lines, but fuck it. I can do whatever I want, honestly. But I will be doing college basketball as we go on. I got to figure out the transfer portal, see how these teams play together. But it's gambling. It's what we do. Let's fucking have a good weekend. Have a drink. Most importantly, let's have a good fucking Saturday. Let's jump on the Twitter. Let's hop in my DMs. Let's continue to talk about the games we're betting. Let's tweet out the games we like. Let's go back and forth. Let's drop numbers. And let's be positive overall. Let's just stay positive. We bet together. We don't bet against each other. We bet together. Cheers.